Hello, this is a message for someone who's stuck in some kind of obligation that they don't want to do, that they're really sick of, that they've had to do many, many times, and they can't get out of, okay? And it's something cyclical. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Something cyclical, and it's something that you feel like you've had to do too many times, but it's not something you feel like you can get out of. It's some sort of real obligation. I'm getting something about jury duty type stuff, okay, where you couldn't get out of it if you tried. But the thing about it is you feel like you've had to deal with this way too many times. So I have no idea how that works, if you can get called for jury duty more than once. It's one of the main reasons I'm not interested in becoming an American citizen, actually, United States citizen, because I don't believe in juries in general being a good method of judging people. So yeah, I don't want to participate in that. But yeah, so I have no idea how it works, but what I'm getting is there's something duty related like that, something that you can get out of, and something that you feel like you've had to deal with way too many times is what I'm getting. You're just so sick and tired of it. You feel like you just are powerless to get out of this, but also to cope with it, because you don't like doing it. You don't feel like you're good at it. You don't feel like it's for you, okay? But you also feel like an absolute sense of responsibility. I'm getting something like almost like a cross to bear, okay? Like this is something you've dealt with for a long time. It might be something you're responsible for. You know, it might be something you're responsible legally for or morally, but I'm getting something like legal too, like you can't get out of this. This is actually like on you, and you may feel like it's unfair, and you may feel ill-equipped, and you may feel like just like this whole thing really depresses you, because especially the sense of powerlessness it creates in your life, where you feel like it starts dampening, putting a damp on other things that are going well for you, perhaps, because you feel like, well, I have to deal with this though, and you know, I always feel like life sucks and I suck and everything sucks when I deal with this. And that's part of the reason you don't like dealing with it, is because it's a constant feeling of defeat when you try to tackle this, or when you are more so obligated to tackle it, because again, it's not something, like I said, that you can choose to get out of. And so basically what you're dealing with is a situation of learning to find your own sense of freedom from in a circumstance that is not actually free, okay? So this is like, it's almost like a spiritual rank thing your soul signed up for, okay? I always talk about how life is a school, and we come here for different lessons that we decide ourselves to sign up for, okay, before we're born. So whoever this message is for, this was part of the curriculum of things you wanted to master in this lifetime, but this is the kind of big thing that actually you might be onto several lives. This could be not your first life trying to master this skill that you're trying to master through these difficult experiences that your soul keeps putting itself through to try and develop these skills and abilities. And this skill that you're trying to develop soul-wise, the message I'm getting is you're trying to develop true freedom, okay? This situation makes you feel completely powerless and trapped, okay? Through experiencing these limitations, you're expecting yourself on a soul level. Your soul is expecting you to eventually transcend somehow and achieve a higher level of consciousness. I know this is kind of a crazy message, but the reason you're going through these hardships that are duties that you can't get out of, again, is because you signed up for them before you were born. This is why it could be something to do with family, because you signed up for this before you were born, and it was to learn this. It was to learn specifically, it was to transcend a level of consciousness that you've never transcended before. And this is like master soul level. Okay, this is the equivalent of PhDs. You're not a kindergartner in the school of life. Whoever this message is for, you've been here many times. And when I say many times, for people that get to these higher ranking lessons in life, I'm talking thousands of times you've been alive. Okay, you had thousands of lives. So you are now mastering some really high level soul skills. Okay, now when you master this kind of soul skills, there are rewards. And they're often in the abilities you develop, very much like Goku. If you've ever watched Dragon Ball Z, I love Dragon Ball Z. Every time he evolves, it's through the process of this evolution that he develops a new skill, and that's what makes him the evolved version, right? So that's kind of actually exactly how life works. And so whatever skill you're going to develop through this incredible challenge, this is a soul level skill, first of all, that's going to give you an ability that you'll carry now for future lives. Okay, so for example, just so you understand the kind of thing I'm talking about, I'm psychic, I'm a medium, all these things since birth. Why? Because I earned them in other lives. I've had thousands of lives, and I've earned all of my gifts. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You're earning a gift you've wanted for a long time, a skill. For a long time, I'm talking at least 3 or 4 lives, you've been working on it. So if this message is for you, you're actually closer to figuring this out than you realize. And hopefully, your soul, since it's so old, once it hears this, you will feel a sense of relief and direction, where you might have felt directionless in this struggle up until now. Upon hearing my words, if this message is for you and your soul is actually resonating, your soul will now start remembering something, and you might now have an innate sense of what to do and how to handle things, and you might feel a bigger sense of inner guidance. So hopefully this was helpful for someone.